What's good? I'm a Ruthless addict. It's your girl Tiffany Shine. Thank you all so much for tuning in to All Things Ruthless, home of the Ruthless Addicts, and it is time for roll call. It's about to go down at Club Eden. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this week's weekly recap? We've got Madam, Blue, Tommy, Addiction, Doc, Babyface, Midnight, Fuego, Big D, Rashad, Trouble are all getting into some trouble, and Concierge is not playing. Are you guys ready? Let's go. Let's go down to the Eden. Season 3, Episode 3 of All the Queen's Men, No Way Out. Nurse Johnson is caught in a compromising position. Casanova's undercover operation hits a snag. Trouble feels unappreciated. And Big D eagerly pursues Dime despite Amp's threats. Alright, y'all, let's just dive into it. As we saw last week, and I also created a video that shows the nastiness of Nurse Johnson, and I call her Nurse Ratchet. But we saw Nurse Ratchet get down and dirty with Papa Jimmy, and Papa Jimmy snapped the F out of it, y'all. He woke up and let her know, B, I'm a pimp, and I'm not the one to be messing with. So not only did he lay hands on her, but he also made her go back down to the roller coaster and ride again, y'all. Papa Jimmy ain't playing. I told y'all he was a G from the beginning. One of them old school pimps that had to lay the backhand, okay? So then, you guys, we see they make their way to Madam's office. Of course, Joey walks in first to check out everything, and he says it's all clear. Of course, Tommy's not feeling it. You know, Tommy thinks he's still top flight A1 security over Madam, but because of Tommy's mess up by letting Concierge in the office, Madam is not really feeling him like that, but she's not separating the family. So then Blue comes to the door, and of course Joey is at the door, and you know he's questioning her, and he puts his hand up across her chest to kind of stop her from walking in, and Madam says no, Blue has all access, you know, to come in here, and so therefore you don't have to stop her. Blue told Joey, man, if you don't keep your hands off my titties. So she was like, man, I don't like no man putting their hands on my chest, you know. So anyway, Blue comes in and she tells Madam about the bill that we saw. Now we all questioned what before the season return, we questioned what BRB was. So now we know that BRB stands for Black Rock Boys, which is also a part of Madam's whole little troop. So somebody has her money, and they are actually in the club right now spending her money. But at this point, they really don't know where the money has come from, who it's come from. All they can do is have the waitresses and the bartenders pay attention to the money and pay attention to who's getting the money by checking, or who's giving the money by checking with a light to see, you know, who's what, you know, check the bills. In other words, check the bills. Just like you go to a high class restaurant or wherever, if you give a high dollar amount bill, they're going to check the money. So anyway, then we see Casanova. So prior to this, Tommy was sent out to go and look for Casanova. So we see Casanova, and he gets in the car with Detective Davis. Now, Detective Davis begins to question him because her files have been corrupted. Her files have been tampered with. And so she says, I'm running you down to the police station. So now Casanova has become a criminal, according to Davis, because she feels like he has interfered with some of her files. Now we know he did go down to the office, and he was in her files, because when you log in, it's gonna keep a record of who went into what file, and so anyway, she takes him down to the police station. So then we see Trouble. Trouble has the audacity to walk into the main attraction's dressing room, and they're looking at her like, girl, like, what are you doing? So Trouble is definitely, just way too excited because of the fact that she did help Midnight as well as Amp. She's way too excited, but you did literally one thing compared to many of the things that these guys in this room have done. So you really still don't have your place. Your place is still not solidified. So they kick her out, and she leaves with an attitude, walking around sulking. So we see Fuego. Fuego is just so freaking ununderstanding as to why he is here. And those fellas, of course, Midnight and Babyface are basically trying to ask him, trying to say, you want us to go in on you again? And mainly Babyface, because Babyface thinks he's just that guy. He thinks he's definitely the bully of Eden. And Amp is like, if y'all think this is all cool, then y'all are messed up. So then we see Amp. Amp is like pissed off, so Amp just walks out. We know what Amp has done lately. We know that Amp has taken a life, so his mental is all messed up. So then we hear Midnight, who is like the dancer gossiper, who tells everything that happens. So he lets the fellas know, look, this man caught a body. She was in the shower. They were in the shower. He pushed her up on the hook. He took her life. We had to get rid of the body. The police pulled me over. And then I saw this truck coming, and it hit the police car. The police started chasing them because the police was trying to hem me up. They wanted to search my truck. And then in pulls up a vehicle that hits the police car. They chased that car, and it was Trouble. And so Babyface says, well, she's going to be a problem. Now she thinks she's entitled, to everything. She's really going to be a problem now. Just going to walk in whenever she wants. So then we see inside the club, we see our girl Dime. She's up on the stage getting, doing her thing as the announcer of the, she's the DJ. And she announces, this guy, he really makes me wet, and just flirting with him on the stage. You know what I mean? So then, of course, she introduces Big D. So Big D, he gets up there. He does his thing. He does his routine. And, the ladies are loving it. I'm loving it. I'll give you guys a clip a little bit later, so y'all gonna have to come back for that. But Big D, he does his thing. So then we see Amp as well as Fuego outside talking. And Fuego is like, I just don't understand what I did. So anyway, Fuego proceeds to tell Amp exactly what happened. And Amp tells, in regards to him finding his girlfriend's body, and he went to the police. And so Amp tells him, oh, so I get it now. Now she basically is protecting you. And he tries to break it down to him that way. But Fuego's like, maybe I can go out west. Maybe I can leave and go out west. But Fuego, Fuego just don't understand that there's no way out. That's literally why this title is No Way Out. There is no way out. If she finds you, if you leave, she's going to find you. Like, there's literally no way out of this situation. Take it from me. I'm her own nephew. And I can't get out of the situation. And Fuego asks him, man, you doing drugs? And yeah, and he's like, and I hope my probation officer could get me out of it. You know what I mean? So basically, he's using the drugs so that he can get so that he can get the PO to lock him back up so he don't have to deal with Madam again. I don't know if that's genius or crazy, but poor Amp, poor Fuego, they're literally both going through the exact same thing. Only difference is Amp actually killed somebody and Fuego didn't. He's just caught up in the midst of the wrong crap. So finally, Trouble walks up to Madam, and of course Blue is stopping her, like, you're not getting in between me and Madam unless Madam wants to talk to you. So Trouble is just, I don't understand, and Madam is like, look, I told you so. Finally, Madam has to get in Trouble's face and let her know, look, you talk too much, you moving sloppy, when you out there on the dance floor is supposed to be about the women, not about yourself. You giving these ladies quickies instead of fulfilling their fantasy. So that's why you're not in the position that you're in. So finally, Madam has broken it down to Trouble, to now maybe Trouble will understand and try to move different. And then she proceeds to tell her, and if I hear you talking about what happened again last night, we're going to have a problem. So, of course, Blue says, I told you she wasn't ready to talk, but you forced her to talk anyway. So she got what she got. So then we see these two square off. Of course, it's all about Dime. First Big D is just over there talking to Dime, trying to say thank you for thank you for playing my music, and you didn't have to do that, and so anyway, the two of them square off, and Amp threatens to shoot. Oh boy, he threatens to shoot Big D. But Madam walks up, she's like, y'all squash this ish, you go your way out, and you go your way, y'all go back to work, go do something else other than over here beefing over Dime. So Dime, tries to tell Madam, look, I don't know what, I'll stop it, but she's primarily the problem, because she's literally trying to make Amp jealous, but she, I guess when she's the one that messed up with Amp. That's all I can say. She messed up with Amp, so now you trying to be petty and make him jealous, even down to the way that she introduced Big D on the stage. So then we see Blue. Blue receives a phone call, and it's from old boy Fernando, and he's letting her know, I see that you're still alive, but I am going to finish the job. So basically, he's letting her know, I'm coming for you. So then we see at the police station, I want to call him Bellissimo because that's his real name, Tony Bellissimo. But Casanova is down at the police station, and he's talking to this other cop as well as Detective Davis, and trying to justify and say, if I don't go back, they're going to know something is wrong. If I don't, first he was going to say, I got to go back to work. But then he was like, I got to go back to Eden. If I don't go back, they're going to know that something is wrong. And then we're going to have basically more problems. And even if you lock me up in prison or in jail, there's still going to be problems. So they're trying to get him to confess as to what evidence he has or what he has removed from the files. But he's not budging. It's like, I didn't do anything. I did, just sitting there trying to defend himself, even though he's trying to survive. So then we see back at Madam's office. Again, everybody is still looking for Casanova. And Madam, Madam is just like, look, I'm tired. I'm about to go home. Y'all do what y'all gotta do. So these two, Tommy and Blue, for once, are actually getting along just to get along long enough to realize, okay, Madam, he's scared. That Madam is scared. And, but Madam told Blue before she left, she was like, look, I know, you telling me Fernando is still coming at you. I need you to stay tonight at my house. You need to stay until all this stuff is squashed. Because they still don't even know what Concierge is. Concierge has yet to resurface. So it's just a matter of time before Concierge does resurface. But in the meantime, Madam is trying to protect Blue from Fernando, Concierge's brother. So at this point, everybody is checking out. Everybody is turning in their money to Dime. The night is over. Of course, Midnight is always trying to speak to Blue. Blue never gives him any attention. I don't know what happened between Blue and Midnight, but she never gives him any attention. She never says goodnight to him or anything. So again, everybody is turning in their money. Trouble, she's still kind of pissed off and sulking because of the fact that, you know, she didn't get the number one spot like she thought. She's pissed off also at Big D because he's brand new coming into the arena and he has his own spot. He's in the room with the main attraction. So she's pretty pissed about that. But then we see Dime as well as D, and they're just having a conversation, and he's trying to convince her to let him walk her outside, and she's like, okay, well, let me finish wrapping all this stuff up. He takes his money, she takes his money as well, and she's like, okay, let me finish wrapping all this stuff up, and then we'll go from there. But earlier, Blue Blue and Dime were having a conversation, and Dime was just saying, I'm just trying to make Amp jealous, but by sleeping with Big D. But then Blue was like, nah, you're not trying to make him jealous. You're trying to sleep with him because you want to. So it was like, it kind of like stuck with her. It stuck with Dime, all the way to the end. But she did at least let him walk her outside to her car. She didn't go to dinner with him because that's what he was asking. And so then we see Trouble. Trouble comes out and she talks to Big D and tells Big D, hey, just because you got a dance spot, don't think that it's all about you, and just literally hating on old boy, just hating on Big D. Big D, I don't know the full story behind Big D. Like I said, they found him. They went out seeking him. So I don't think he has any ill intentions towards Eden or towards Madam, but it's all the Queen's men, so you never really know who you can trust. So then back at the house, we see Joey. Joey tries to tries to make Madam a drink, and she's like, now you know good and well you just trying to make Tommy jealous, because he'll know if someone has moved the glass. I'll do it myself. And then she receives a phone call. But prior to that phone call, y'all, Joey was trying to put some space in between Tommy and Madam. And Madam is like, look, no matter what you do, you're not separating me from my family. You're not separating me from my people. So that discord that you're trying to strike up is not gonna work. So then Madam receives a phone call and she tells Joey to leave the room. So Madam answers the phone. She's like, who is this? I don't recognize this number. And on the other end, it's Nurse Ratchet Johnson. She gives the phone to Papa Jimmy, and Papa Jimmy is just spilling the tea. We gonna use her, and just as I thought in my previous video, y'all, just as I thought, she is now going to be used as the middleman, the go-between Madam as well as Papa Jimmy. And at this point, y'all, she's stuck. It's life or death. Because Madam told her at the end of that phone call conversation, B, you better be glad my daddy is protecting you, or I will be messing you up. I will be there shooting you in your brain myself. So now Nurse Ratchet Johnson is nervous as H-E-double-L and don't know what else to do but to do what Papa Jimmy has told her to do. So at the end of the story, y'all, we see Tommy and Blue walk out of Club Eden. And Tommy might serve up muffins and cookies and all that stuff, but he's very attentive when he needs to be. He noticed that there was a street light that was out, that is normally on because he just fixed it. And Blue is like, nah, that light's been out since the shooting. He's like, nah, I know, I fixed that light. Something's not right. So they walk up and they see this white car with the window bashed in the front. And in the front, they see, inside of the vehicle, they see Jenna. So Jenna her lights are out, but she's also connected to a bomb. And just like Fernando said, he was coming for Blue, and he literally he dropped the bomb on Blue. With that being said, it's pretty clear that the two of them survived, but now they are on a time limit. They have got to get the heck out of Dodge, because we don't know if Fernando is standing right there watching this whole explosion, y'all. With that being said, thank y'all so much for tapping in to All Things Ruthless, home of the Ruthless Addicts. Drop your comments below. This episode was fire. I absolutely enjoyed it. I'll give you guys my rating when we do our recap on Sunday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, my time, with myself as well as EJ the TV Junkie, and I'm sure we're going to bring along someone else that would love to talk about All the Queen's Men. Let me know your comments, and thank y'all so much for tapping in to All Things Ruthless. If you're new to my channel, finding me for the very first time, please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell for any reminders of new Ruthless content, as well as All the Queen's Men, as well as Zatima, okay? And YouTube seems to think that this is my most popping video, so I would love it if you guys would check it out, okay? Alright, y'all. That's about it. Thank you so much for tapping in, and you already know, stay ruthless.